Hi, I am Shane with the Drum Center of Portsmouth in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. We are on the web at drumcenternh.com, and today we are doing part one of a 4-part series of the pursuit of the great Gretsch sound. We're going to be comparing the 3 different lines, USA Custom, Broadkaster, and the Brooklyn series, and we're going to be doing them in 4 different configurations. We'll do a jazz set, a downbeat set, a rock set, and then a big rock set. We're going to sit them side by side so you'll be able to hear the differences, and this will help you make an informed decision when it's time for you to purchase your Gretsch drum set. If you're looking for information on the cymbals we used, the tuning settings, the miking, have a look at the description below. If you want to buy one of these kits, give us a call at the phone number below and we can get you the best price that way. The premise will be the same for each configuration. We have the TuneBot that we're using to get the settings so that the tuning for all the drums will be the same. I went down to the factory a couple of times, but one time they brought us to Nashville and we went to Zach Brown's studio, Southern Ground Studio, and they brought in USA Custom, Brooklyn, and Broadkaster for us to compare in that room. And what I found is probably what you're going to find today. Differences are not that huge. The great Gretsch sound is the great Gretsch sound.
The first set we're looking at is the Gretsch USA Custom. This is the classic Gretsch sound. This is the classic Gretsch shell construction and specs. When you think Gretsch, you think USA Custom. These drums feature the 6-ply Gretsch formula maple gum shell. So that's 2 plies of maple, 2 plies of gum, 2 plies of maple. Each shell has a 30-degree bearing edge, a silver sealer finish on the inside, and the toms and snares feature die-cast hoops. I find these drums to be some of the most musical sounding that I've played, and that seems a little weird to say about any drum because they're all musical instruments, but when you play them you understand. They have this mid-range presence that really wants to sit in a band mix. When you're listening to a whole band, the way these drums sound mixed in with everybody is just perfect. They sound like they're supposed to be in with all the other instruments. The die-cast hoops that you get on the USA Customs, to me, create a little bit more of a stiffer feel, but that can be a good thing because it makes you want to articulate. It makes every idea you have, every pattern you play come out very clearly. One other thing you may notice about these drums is the 5-lug 12-inch tom. That's something that Gretsch has just done for a long time. I think there being a little less hardware on the drum allows that shell to speak a little more and resonate a little more fully, and I think that's an interesting idea. The next kit we're looking at is the Broadkaster series. This shell is a 3-ply configuration that has one thick ply of poplar with a thinner ply of maple inside and outside. Some shells like these you'll see in other brands have reinforcement rings. These do not, but in order to preserve the structural integrity of these shells, Gretsch uses an interior scarf joint that adds a lot more resilience to the shell. These shells also feature a reverse roundover bearing edge, which is a little bit different than the 30-degree bearing edge you'll find on Gretsch's other lines. And like all Gretsch USA drums, they feature the silver sealer interior. These drums also feature Gretsch's 302 hoops, otherwise known as double-flanged or stick chopper hoops. I think these hoops allow the drums to resonate and speak a little more openly than drums that have die-cast hoops like the USA Customs. They also add a lot of harmonics when you're rim shotting or playing very close to the edge. I really like the Broadkaster series. I've ordered a kit for myself. I don't have it yet, but I will soon, and I'm very excited. The roundover bearing edge is a really cool feature, I think. It creates a lot more shell to head contact and gives you a lot of shell response, a lot of warmth, but it controls the note a little more. You get a little bit more darkness and low end out of these. It's still that Gretsch sound, but just a fuzzier version of it. Finally, we have the Brooklyn series. This is a maple poplar shell, which is a little bit thicker than the USA Custom. Again, 6 plies, so 2 maple, 2 poplar, 2 maple. These drums also have the same USA Custom style 30-degree bearing edge, and they have the same 302 hoops that you find on the Broadcasters. And of course, the silver sealer interior finish. What a lot of people will notice about the Brooklyns is the price. These are a less expensive way to get into the Gretsch USA sound, but still, I feel, really get the experience of the Gretsch thing. I think these give you a more modern version of the Gretsch sound. Still very warm, very full sounding, but punchier, especially the kick drum. I found that had a much more focused and fat low-end punch to it that was really pleasing. These drums are a lot of fun to play.
If there's anything I've noticed about Gretsch drums, it's that they are the choice of many, many studios. They've also been the most replicated drum sets out there. If we think about it, there are so many companies that are trying to create their version of the great Gretsch sound. Recording engineers just love these drums. There is a magic to Gretsch drums that is, it just can't be explained until you hear it. When I hear a Gretsch drum set, I know right away, that is a Gretsch drum set. Especially with jazz recordings, when you hear certain jazz drummers play, there's this rich, sweet tone. But the best way I can define it is that it sounds like the sound is coming out of the sides of the drums. There's just such a width to their tone. And the bass drums, especially with their rock bass drums, they're some of the best bass drums you're ever going to hear. They just have this incredible attack and just enough of a legato to really hold the note, and it just gets out of the way. Maybe that's why the engineers love the sound so much. But so many of famous recordings with drummers that we all know and love, you think they're using their endorsed brand of drums. Well, not in the studio. A lot of times they're just using Gretsch drums because they just track so well. So, what set did you like the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button. That way you'll get notified whenever we post new content like this. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope you found it beneficial. And if there's anything you need, please let us know. We would love to be your retailer. And for those of you that are supporting us, thanks so much. And we hope to work with you soon.